So this is the 5th installment of the orientation guides and the final one, I think, I hope. This is Xhul'horac. Again, this isn't a guide on how to kill it. This is just a guide on how to slot into our raids and kill it in the way we kill it, if you're a new member to our raid team. And that hopefully you'll know what your jobs are and how you're doing them and how it all looks in the chaos of what is this fight. Xhul'horac. Okay, so there's quite a bit going on here. The first point to note is on the pull, the ring won't be used. We're going to save that for the first set of imps. So we're just going to get ourselves in position first of all. The first thing that will arrive, we'll get several things happening at once. Fell Surge, for which you need to move out to the green extremely quickly. There is a demonic gateway there, but of course you can only use that every 2 minutes and you might well get spammed with them. Then we're going to have imps spawning, which we need to burst down really quickly. Everyone needs to be in melee range of the boss, apart from people who are out for soaking. So I'm going to bugger off here, try and drop fire on green. Oh dear, a bit slow. Then get back. Imps have already been taken care of. The new ad is spawning there. So cleave, 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 cleave. So the group that's out is a small group of 3 mages and hunters who are out baiting chains. No one else wants chains. They do a lot of damage. Hunters can sort of deal with them. Mages can deal with them quite a lot. The void spawns. Now, there's 2 things happened here. We've got imps, melee on the imps. Burst them down really quickly. There is a stun rotation, but also feel free to interrupt. Do interrupt. If you can see, it's gone over half cast. The shadow mobs are for ranged. Ranged have to make those melt. Not cleaving onto them. Make them melt. The reason for that is if the shadow ads stay up a bit too long, then the imps become a problem. Black hole, there's a black hole rotation to deal with that. You can see it's all coming thick and fast here. We have to be right on top of it. Move away from those void ads really quickly, and then watch out for Fell Surge. It's all bloody happening here. Crap. Black hole, yes. There's a rotation for black hole, where if you've got to take black hole, you need to maximum absorb, maximum damage reduction itself doesn't really work. So what you have to do is just go in there. If you've got absorbs like AMS or something like that, make sure it's as beefy as possible, so that you can take those. As I say, those shadow ads, you'll notice there's little purple swirly things appear. That's where because they teleport around, and that's where they're going to teleport to. Move the hell away from it. Try not to stand in front of the boss. Occasionally we might have to need stand on the tanks, but it's really to be avoided. We're trying to avoid the tanks getting hit by the fire from the imps, because if that happens and then they take some shadow damage, which one of them will, boom. The whole lot goes boom. I'm sure you know how that works. That's a heroic mechanic. There's no need to go through that again. Black hole, if you're on the side of the boss where the black hole is, be careful you don't get sucked into it. It goes without saying. And again, imps, they're just coming thick and fast. As everyone needs to be on the imps. Everyone is killing ads, by the way. Everything else is incidental. If you can make the ads melt, the fight is so easy. But for range, the key thing is shadow ads when they are up. Melee, it's always imps. But if there's no shadow ads, get away from ads. Get away from. I keep saying abs. Get away from them. Then ranged are also on the imps. They're really important. And Fell Surge. As soon as you get Fell Surge, you need to move out the way. But as I say, if you are getting rammed with them, you just need to get as close to that green as possible. Person taking the black hole, that gives you the shadow debuff. So what that person will then do is go over to the fire on the green and explode it to get rid of it. But they have to be careful not to do that at the same time as people have gone out with the Fell Surge. Okay, so again, avoid those shadow ads. This is why it's important everyone's on the right side of the boss as well. Ranged as well as healers are all in melee range, you'll notice, apart from the people out baiting those chains. The only other time to be out is either if you're going to get a black hole or if you're taking the Fell Surge out. Now, you can be really unlucky with timing, and as a result of coming back in, you're still out and you cop for chains. That's just really unlucky, but it does rarely happen. So it's just one of those things, just put down to bad luck if it happens and you end up dead as a result of it. Might end up as a wipe, and there you go. We really don't want people dead. The last phase is so chaotic that we can't really afford it. Now, when we get into the last phase, we're obviously going to pop a load of cooldowns. We still need to be clearing ads. We still need to take the Fell Surge out of it, but as the boss might be moved forward, we won't get as far as the green. So we still need to just take it out as far as we can. But at this point, we are going to start to get a lot of fire around the back there. And obviously, when we get into this final phase, it's a huge burn phase. You get overwhelming chaos, which does a lot of damage. Try and use cooldowns at those points. And obviously, pop all your cooldowns. Second pot, we get Hero, the Ring, the works. And it's just burst the crap out of it. Black holes will still happen and still need dealing with. It's really important if you're on the black hole that if you've got the fire buff that you do not take it. You have to call that someone else has to take it. If on the last phase, this point here, the boss is basically dead, just, you know, if no one else, just someone suicide into the black hole, just take it, for Christ's sake. It really doesn't matter, because at this point, the boss is on really low health. People are going to start dying anyway. We just need enough people alive to actually finish it off. But you have to do it really quickly, because this overwhelming chaos really does a lot of damage later on. And there's so much going on for such a small fight, didn't even have time to go through everything. The ads, as each ad dies, like the big ads, that is not the imps or anything like that, the fire dude and the Omnus, the shadow guy, their abilities become empowered. So when the fire guy dies, the chains become empowered. Now, at this point, it's sometimes necessary, especially towards the end, to have 4 people out soaking. To make sure that, because if someone gets like the debuff, like shadow debuff, they won't be able to get the fire debuff, they won't be able to get the chains, and it'll link onto someone in melee. We really want to avoid this. It does stupid damage, and it's basically going to kill us. As the shadow ad dies, then the black holes become empowered, although realistically it's not absolutely essential whether you understand what the consequence of that is or not, because it's dealt with by the fact that we've got enough people in the rotation that no one has to take an empowered black hole twice anyway, so that's fine. And you will just die anyway. But yeah, the empowered chain is really important, so it's always important to make sure you are in melee range so you don't get onto those. But as I say, we do sort of need someone else to go out with that, which we again arrange. But usual thing at this point, just remember, ads always still the priority. And that's hopefully it. There is a lot to do, but for each individual person, it's not a huge amount. It's relatively manageable. You just have to be aware of what is your priority target, what is your key priorities in terms of movement, and plan your escape routes when you get Fell Surge especially. And if you're on black holes, again, make sure that you can quickly scan for where the black hole is. It doesn't take a lot of working out. You do get pulled into it after all. Okay, hopefully that's enough.